Today I'm going to talk about the Chinese game. Nowadays it's different. Before I neglected Chinese games this area. Now, recently, I researched the Chinese games. Now it's totally different. Now it's on another level. Now it's already very high levels, like world's top level. It's not 5 or 6 years ago. Now it's totally different. Now you can see it's very nice scenario. Before I played a lot foreign games, Western games like Ultima Online, Ultima 9, EverQuest 2, that kind of online game, League of Legends, Warcraft, those kind of games are foreign games mostly. But within at least 2 years, these 2 years I started to search the Chinese games like this. You can see it's very beautiful. And before I play those kind of games, the settings is in the medieval Western world, medieval Britain, medieval Europe, but here now it's medieval China. So it's different. Now I'm trying something new, so which can boost your brain before you played a lot of those kind of medieval European games. So now it's different. The location is different, the setting is different. So your brain can open a new area for you. So beautiful. I can't imagine now.
林姐姐，周小玉好像不大舒服，我摸她手冰凉，身子挺烫的。莫慌，我这就随你去看看。朝飞，你照顾着点小朋友。小玉莫哭，让姐姐看看是哪里不舒服。得先给她降温。沉香，你快去取冰袋来。好。
Can't imagine now a Chinese game is like that kind of level. It's so beautiful. In 3D. It's 3D game, and it's 3D game in the medieval Chinese mainland, which is very funny, interesting. Couldn't imagine it 10 years ago when I was playing EverQuest Ultima Online. 20 years ago or 10 years ago, I played those kind of Japanese game and American games mostly, GTA, those kind of things. Now you can see there are many Chinese games as well, and there are great companies like NetEase and Tencent, and many game companies in China. Chinese companies also developed a lot of games. Like recently, the NetEase cooperates with Blizzard to develop the game, a legend game, Diablo Immortal. Is co-developed by Chinese NetEase company and Blizzard. So you can't imagine that 10 years ago. Now it's different. Chinese games and Chinese market is so big. So 1.4 billion people can play the games. So the market is big. So now Chinese companies can research their games. They have their NetEase. They have their own engine, Messiah. and they also use some kind of companies use Unreal 5 for Unity, or Tencent also has their developing engine. So now it's different, and the setting is cool in the old medieval China, comparing to the old medieval Britain, and like in UO. It's like before there were a lot of games, Warcraft, those kind of Starcraft, Ultima, the Shadow of Avatar, the Raven Sword, those kind of things. Now like it's like 3D. Now I'm running with the character, so many things, and there are so many other Chinese games out to the market as well, in PC area, PC, Android, iOS, with all kind of platforms, like PS, PlayStation, Xbox, or something. Also, many games now you can search on Steam. Also, there are many and many Chinese games as well. So now the Chinese games are stronger, getting stronger and stronger, and better and better. And also, the soft power to export those kind of soft power to the world. Not only Chinese CPU, GPU we have, and we have Chinese OS, Chinese phone, Huawei, Vivo, Oppo, Chinese car, Chinese electric car. Recently, Chinese phone with those kind of soft power. Now, even Chinese games also exporting the soft power, and Confucius school also. Wow, so I can't imagine now Chinese soft power is like this kind of big. Can compare with America now. Before I just looked down a little bit Chinese soft power, but now after playing this game, I know Chinese will be the future. China will be the future. You can see even in the game area, they also be so great like that. Not only CPU, we have Longson 385,000 CPU, we got GPU, Zhenjiang Micro GPU, we got UOS operation system, we got Harmony OS by Huawei, we got Phone OS, right? So crazy. We have all kind of fields. China can develop all kind of fields. Even Chinese game, that kind of fields. There are several companies in China which can develop games. This kind of area also great, and also we got chips, semiconductor. Now we got SSD, RAM, all Chinese companies. Okay, we don't need to use SanDisk, Kingston, Western Digital. We don't need to use them. Now we also have our own game. I don't play the EverQuest, Ultima Online, Diablo. I just play this 一球. Now you can see it's online. I type hello. Other people can also see it. See? It's like a very massive online game. You can also play single, ignoring other people, but you can see other online players walking around, passing by, but you can ignore it. You don't need to cooperate with them. You don't need to party with them. It's like, other foreign games now, Chinese games are very high quality. I don't need to play other game. I don't need to play foreign games now. I can play Chinese game. Now I'm using Harmony OS 3 with my Huawei Mate 40 Pro. So I can use a full Chinese gear, Chinese internet, Chinese OS, Chinese game, Chinese CPU as well. And there are many PC other games also very great, like many games you can find on Steam. I couldn't name the English name, but you can search my channel later. There are games, Chinese game also. Not only this one.
冰姐姐，你来西边看看，不得了了！师妹别急，我马上过去。你也算懂些医理，这孩子先拜托你了。这药我尝了，基本药语和煎法都没什么问题。先来喝下，走吧，我带你去西边看看。慌慌张张的。
So, with China, don't need to afraid to be sanctioned by the United States because we have games, we have CPU, GPU, we have OS, we have an operation system, we have all kind of things. Even this kind of difficult field of Chinese game area entertainment, we now also already broke the American monopoly. So we will dedicate to the role more on Steam platform. We got it. You can search more games on Steam platform. The Steam platform. We also have Chinese game. You can search a lot of Chinese game out there with this kind of quality. This is already 3-4 years ago's masterpiece. Nowadays, 2022, there will be many and more kind of Chinese games with better and the best quality comparing to the roles. So now it's different. We don't need to be afraid of any sanction. So Chinese game great, right? Just one of them. There are many. You can search type Chinese game on the internet. You will search a lot. PC games or have some kind of like CS, Counter-Strike, that kind of first-person shooting game there are, and this kind of like Ultima Online, this kind of medieval Chinese game, ARPG we have car racing maybe. We got also some kind of fantasy game, or that's those kind of virtualizations fantasy games as well. So hope you enjoy it and go to download it ASAP.